Hi, and welcome to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. I'm the President, Eric Knowles. Before we get started, a word from one of our supporters. Hi, and welcome back to Miami-Dade Chambers Member Connection. Yeah, I know you're tired of me saying how excited I am about our guests, but I am truly excited. I've been knowing this young lady a couple days, and it's so good to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Miss
Wonderful to see
Satonya
you.
Baker.
Wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So we're here to talk about, what you've been doing and the exciting things that you've been doing and this thing called The Beautiful Works.
Yes. I launched and founded my company in 2013
Okay.
and rooted in marketing, brand management, project management, hospitality. And in 2019, we expanded our services into commercial property management. And it was the perfect segue, having experience with multiple types of commercial properties, lounges, hotels, nightclubs, and, being responsible for creating all of these various experiences and productions, making sure that, when our guests arrive, that they have a beautiful experience. And so expanding our services into commercial property management, real estate asset management, we are able to now control the front of the house and the back of the house,
Okay.
and making sure that our customers, our clients, and our guests, our tenants are safe, that we're doing the things that we need to do from a preventative maintenance standpoint. And it's just been beautiful. So thank you again for having
Absolutely.
me.
So, like you said, I know your background is marketing. You got a lot of backgrounds.
I
You
do.
just touched. I don't even think you even touched on the surface. So I know, and we're not here to talk about him, but you got a dad that has been involved in arts for many years. Talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. My father, my daddy, is the director of the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center, formerly the Cultural Arts Center. That's what it was called when I was growing up. And he's been the director for 38 years at the Cultural Arts Center. And I would love to be able to attribute to my creativity, my passion for the arts, having that as a playground, if you will, and being exposed to the arts. Prior to him being at the Cultural Arts Center, he was a theater teacher at Rainbow Park Elementary.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, yes. And so being at the Cultural Arts Center, not only did it help me give me this environment of creativity, but it was also a playground for me to practice my voice.
Right.
And so I was 12 years old, and I actually used to answer the phones there.
Oh, wow.
And so I was able to be professional, be articulate. My first job as a telemarketer was attributed to that experience at the Cultural Arts Center.
Right.
So, my father, like I said, having that opportunity, being exposed, and it wasn't just his profession, it's it's who he is.
Right.
So, growing up, being encouraged to use my imagination, many fond memories of him simply taking time to color with us. For Halloween, he would do our own theatrical makeup. So, being able to use my imagination, coupled with the spirit of entrepreneurship from my mom, I would say that it really was the playground, if you will, for me to develop into the woman I am today.
Yeah, and quite a playground. The African Cultural Arts Center is a mecca in our community. It is a ground, really a sacred ground that has homed a lot of artists in our community who have gone on to do many great things. So, again, I know, like I said, that's just
No, it's okay. No, you're absolutely right. So whether students have gone to Juilliard or have won Oscar, not just the nomination, but to actually win an Oscar. The artistic director for Alvin Ailey, all of these people have come from the Cultural Arts Center, and it's been it's just been a beautiful space, a safe space, like you
Right.
said, a sacred space to develop youth, to instill in them, pride and develop their natural given talents. And that is a part of who my father and my dad is.
Well, and that's a part of who you are, and that's why we're having this conversation today, because you are, anytime that I've been around you and I know the work that you've done, it's par excellence, as they say, second to none. And so your marketing skills, and as you said, learning from 12 years old how to engage with the public. And one thing about marketing, that's what you're doing. You're engaging with the public, checking their pulse and doing things. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, one of the things that I've taken a lot of great pride in the various roles that I've had through the years, is being able to create an experience and take someone somewhere that they've never been before. A
Okay.
lot of times we get stuck in our ways, or we have already asked and answered the question. We already have in our mind what the experience will be. And so, having a seat at the table, having the ability to open some of these doors, and having my own personal experiences, being able to travel. I would say that, it's been very near and dear to me. I love the reactions. I love the confirmation. Not that everyone has to like what I like, right?
Right.
But when you know that you have been very intentional about educating and elevating and enlightening, and having all of those dots connect, that's been the roots of my marketing experience. Basically, telling people about something good, whether it's a product, brand, or service. And I really relish in those moments.
Right. So, obviously, we know you mentioned the pandemic, and how has that impacted your business?
Well, I would say from a nightlife and lifestyle, which initially, were the roots of the marketing company, it impacted the business significantly from, commercial property. Uh, it has, it's been more about the regulating the protocols
Right.
is what has negatively impacted the
Right.
most. I want to make sure I said that properly. But I would say that, from a supply chain, from an inflation standpoint, those are some of the negative aspects. But I would also say that having the opportunity to kind of to be closer knit, to be able to know that we can be relied upon, that we care about the safety and well-being of our clients and our tenants, That is the positive that has come from being in under the pandemic or COVID regulations.
Right. Now you said you started your business in 2013.
In 2013, I basically had select clients that I would work and engage with that were looking for curated experiences, out of the box activations and productions. And in 2019 is when we expanded into commercial property management.
Okay. And then I look at marketing and obviously how the world has changed, in particular with social media, Instagram, and I mean, for some people, Instagram isn't the thing, and there are other things I can't even remember the names of all these different things
So
that are
many.
out there now.
Right.
How do you use social media as a tool to do what you do?
Well, the beauty of social media is it's forced to connect and expose. And, one of the things that we've been able to do is to speak from a personal connection. We've been able to reveal more things about ourselves. So it's not just, traditional advertising and marketing. It's just like, this is our company. These are the services that we provide. And, pretty much kind of cut and dry. And it really just depends on the audience and what you're looking for. But with Instagram and Facebook, you're now able to incorporate, and reveal pictures and speak to the person as another human being, not necessarily as a company or an organization.
Right.
So you're able to reveal more things about yourself, and you don't even have to make a call to action to make a connection. So whether it's the foods that we eat, the places that we go, all of those things are now connections. And they're also tools for aspiration. So, your audience may be in a place where they haven't even properly been able to conceive or imagine these things. And here it is, you have a platform to showcase them, and that too makes a connection.
Right. And I guess it can be a plus, or it could be a negative for a company.
Absolutely.
Because those things that you're talking about, having that vision, having that positioning yourself, because it's an open book.
Right.
And if someone's looking for a marketing company or PR company, basically they can go on social media and go through a plethora of companies. But if you haven't positioned yourself right in social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and the others, then you're basically shooting yourself in the foot. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think you bring up an excellent point, and this is why it's important to have a specific culture for your brand, and to have a unified voice, and to have a position on what you will and will not do, or will and will not say. And so when you think about it from that aspect, you can't just randomly, you know, display things or randomly speak to things. You have to think about, and that goes back to my public relations days, you have to think about, well, what could potentially be the consequences of these things and how you utilize this platform. There was the last part of that question. I want to make sure I answer.
What I'm saying, it can shoot, you shoot yourself in the foot,
yes.
basically.
Yes.
If you're not doing that right. And as
Right.
you said, you answered that in
Okay.
terms of making sure that you position and the things that you're saying and the things that you're posting speaks to your brand.
Right. And it just shows how everyone in your organization is a part of the brand. And everyone in the organization, the things that they say and do. And that's why you have to have that brand training. You have to have the be aligned with the story, and make sure that, and not a story as if you're creating a story.
No.
Right.
Absolutely.
But you have to make sure that everyone is educated on that brand story, so that they can speak easily, to what the brand believes in, what the brand or the organization supports. And those are the types of things that we take into consideration for our clients as well.
Right. 2013 and then here 2019, as you segued into property management and managing and doing those things. Talk about that a little bit. And why did you do that?
And why? Well, it's one of those things where you realize you've been doing it all along.
Okay.
And so I can't remember the name of the author, but there was a book, One Thing. And when I thought about, and not just thought about, I was able to analyze all of my different positions, all the roles and tasks and jobs that I've been employed in. And it was always about elevating and enlightening and educating. There is a saying that people want to be entertained. And that's what part of where my roots were from, sports and entertainment. But educate them anyway. And so I've had the opportunity to work with some very high-end global luxury brands, and it started from I worked with the Super Bowl host committee. I worked with an independent label here in South Florida, record label, and in every instance, I was very integral in creating these experiences and making sure when someone came to a space that they had a beautiful experience and that they weren't you know, either in harm's way, or there wasn't, you had to think ahead about what would be an adverse experience, what would be antithetical to why you're bringing them into the space.
Right.
And so again, it was just one of those things that I realized I've been doing all along.
Right.
So then you formalize the education, you get certified or the proper credentials to be respected in that space, and then the rest is history.
And when you're doing what you love, it's not work.
Oh, not at all. And most people think that you love this, and I do love this, but there's a lot of in the various industries that I've worked in, there's a lot of either hurry up to wait, or you're constantly solving problems and you're constantly seeking opportunities.
Right.
So it is very fast paced,
Interesting way to
very,
look at it.
and and some of the best opportunities literally almost always happen at the last minute. And so you have to be groomed and prepared for that. And all the different industries that I've worked in have definitely prepared me for that.
Right. And it's kind of what you just said kind of leads into the question I'm about to ask. What has been some of your challenges in growing your business?
Wow, I would say that wearing all of these multiple hats and not having the ability to relinquish them to other beautiful, talented minds has been a part of my challenge.
Okay.
And I have a beautiful team, and I'm seeking to expand that team. And obviously, you need resources in order to do so. And so we are seeking. We're not short of opportunities, but we are seeking qualified talent to be able to fill those roles. And a part of the, I would say, hesitation is making sure that we are equipped to properly compensate them.
Right.
So that has been the number one challenge.
Yeah, that's in most small businesses. That is probably one of the biggest challenges, the financial side of it. But it sounds like it doesn't sound like. I know you are ready for the challenge, and I know where to go seek the support and the help.
Yes.
You've been part of the chamber. Thank you for your engagement with the chamber. And there are many opportunities out there, and we look forward to continue to work with you so we can help you meet those challenges.
Yes, and I look forward to being a success story.
Absolutely.
And I'm grateful for the chamber. And one thing I know for sure on this journey is that you know, most are convinced that there aren't any opportunities. And the resources that you all have made available, that the chamber makes available, it instills hope.
Right.
And okay.
No,
Okay.
didn't mean to cut you off, but
Okay.
this conversation has been great. And the thing is, we're coming to the end.
Okay.
So we have to bring you back so we can continue this conversation. So if someone wants to get in touch with the Beautiful Works, how can they do that?
Well, they can go to our website at thebeautifulworks.com. They can give us a call at 954-843-3660 or our Miami office, 305-691-0352. And if they'd like to send us an email, discover@thebeautifulworks.com.
This has been the Miami-Dade Chamber Member Connection. If you want to know more about the Chamber, go to m-dcc.org or call the Chamber at 305-751-8648. Today, I stand before you, a proud graduate of Miami-Dade College and the 5th president of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. I'm honored to return to the college that prepared me to become a leader in our community, providing an education second to none. So I'm asking you to please tune in every Monday at 12 noon to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce's Member Connection, as I interview members of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce on our Facebook page at Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce or our YouTube channel, Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. To learn more about the Chamber, please go to m-dcc.org or call the Chamber at 305-751-8648.